Hello, I'm Jim Roberts. I'm host of Senior Living in Alexandria, and we've got a wonderful program for you again. Let me explain a little bit about Senior Living in Alexandria, those of you that might have tuned in for the first time. This is a program that's not just for seniors, obviously, but it also is for family, friends, caregivers, service providers, those people that might have seniors and their interest at heart. We try to bring information to the community that's going to be useful to you and helpful to you and find good opportunities and good advice. I'm privileged today to have a special guest today. Matt Slover is here with me, and he's with the Department of Recreation in the City of Alexandria. He's a regional program director. He's had a long, extensive career with the rec department and has done many different things, but his current title is a regional program director. So Mac, it's really good to have you here today, and look forward to learning a little bit more about what you've done and also about the rec department. So let me start off and ask you, introduce yourself and how did you wind up at the rec department and what have you done?
I'm Max Slover. I'm a regional program director. I have had a variety of positions at this department. I've been center director at 3 different recreation centers and ran the youth and adult sports programs, and currently with the youth activities and community outreach and senior programs, and been with the city over 30 years.
Is there anything you haven't done?
Retired.
Oh, I see. Well, that'll be up to you.
Right, that's right.
What are your current responsibilities then? What's your job?
Well, currently now I've just switched positions, and I'm now the director for the Patrick Henry Recreation Center, and we're rebuilding the Patrick Henry School and Recreation Center, and I'm happy to say that that new Recreation Center will also have opportunities for senior programs.
Okay. When is that? That's not open yet, is it?
That will open in January of 2019.
And what's kind of an overview of what you're going to have to offer there?
We will have become a full-time recreation center in that we will open all during the day. We will have a flex court. We will have multi-purpose rooms. We will have a arts and crafts room.
Okay.
And you know, we'll have opportunities for seniors to come in to do you know, exercise programs or craft programs or any other programs that we come up with.
Yeah, that sounds like an exciting thing. I've seen the plans for it. It's a pretty dramatic building, and it sounds like you've got a full house of programs available.
Well, we're excited about it. You know, we'll be doing tot programs all the way up, like I said, to seniors, and after-school program is one of our largest programs.
Is that is that in Ramsey or the 2 in the West End?
That is.
So that'll have a broad base that maybe hasn't had access as much. So that'll be great.
Yep.
I'll have to go over there and when you open, or the dedication.
Please
maybe.
do.
Okay. So what kinds of programs generally in the department would be available, not just for seniors, but just generally?
Well, we run what we call the Power Plus 55 program, and that's programs primarily for seniors within the city of Alexandria. But it doesn't mean that they're just limited to just City of Alexandria residents. In our program guide, we offer a variety of programs from aerobics to swim to special classes and sports programs for that age group.
I noticed I get it in the mail and also go online and look at it, and there's a lot of things there to do, more than I'm able to sign up for, I guess. But you have a special designation there when there's a little code there that if a senior were looking at, they'd be able to.
Right, the Power Plus 55.
Oh, that's the designation.
That's the designation. You want to look for that. But seniors also are able to sign up for our regular programs too. They're not just specifically for seniors.
If I assume many of our people looking in would have received it in the mail or get it online, but if somebody didn't happen to do that, how would they get a hold of it?
Oh, they can certainly contact our reservation and registration office at 703-746-5414, or go online at www.alexandriava.gov seniorservices.gov/recreation.
Are those available in the center if you happen to?
Absolutely.
So they're distributed?
Absolutely.
Are there other places? How do you get people, how else do you let people know about what you do?
Well, social media is obviously big for us, and our website and stuff, but we also have partners in the city. Senior Services is absolutely one of them. And so we have meet with those different groups in the city, the senior groups in the city, and you know, get our information out through their mailings and things like that.
Tell me a little bit, what do you have that's specifically designed for seniors?
Oh boy. Well, there's 2 senior centers in the city, and that's at Charles Houston and St. Martin's. And but our recreation centers outside of Charles Houston, there's senior programs that occur at some of our locations that we run specific programs for. And then, you know, one of our largest programs runs at Charles Houston during the daytime. It's our pickleball program.
Oh.
And it's very popular. We've been now running it for about 6 years. We have recently put in our first set of outdoor pickleball courts at the Lee Center, and that's located at 1108 Jefferson Street.
I've heard of pickleball. I've got friends that have recommended it.
Very popular.
I've never seen it. I need to get to Houston Rec Center and
Absolutely.
give it a try.
We run it at Charles Houston, actually, and the Nanny J. Lee Recreation Center.
When you mentioned senior centers, how is that different than a rec center?
Well, the senior centers are adult daycare type centers.
Okay. Not necessarily recreation.
Right.
But adult care, food, training.
That's correct. Now, at a lot of our locations, we run senior programs. Some of them are in the daytime, some are at night. Different areas of the city, our seniors program differently. But it's always open to anyone that lives in the city and you know, that wanted to attend.
When you speak of seniors, what's the age that you're looking at?
I think, you know, we primarily look at 55 and up, but you know, again, our brochure guide that has all kinds of programs in it is not just limited to just the seniors. Seniors can sign up for any type of program.
You and I would probably qualify.
Yes, unfortunately.
I don't know about that. We get this opportunity for recreation.
That's right. We get that discount.
Yeah, which would be good. We're going to have to go to a break right now, but I want to come back and talk a little bit more about some of the senior programs. And I understand you've got some special events coming up in April and May that specifically target or would be of interest to seniors, so I want to cover a little bit on that. But so hang on, we'll be back, and right now we're going to go to our typical cooking show. I believe Madison's coming in and is going to teach us how to cook some stuff, and it's usually pretty good. So we'll be back.
Thank you.
Well, we're once again at a special segment of our program today, and I'm pleased again to be with Madison Reeder. As you all know and have heard, she's with the PACE organization that's part of Inova Hospital. It focuses on nutrition as a trained nutritionist, but more than that, she's coming here with delicious recipes week after week after week. So, Madison, what do we have today?
So today we are going to make chocolate workout brownies.
Workout brownies.
Yes, because they're going to have our healthy fats, of course, as we always discuss, but also some protein in. So this is going to be a really well-rounded snack for us and also a great sweet treat.
Brownies. So you can eat all you want and still be trim and healthy?
Well, not quite all you want, but maybe a little bit more than with your traditional brownies.
Okay, well, let's make some and we'll see what happens.
All right, so with these brownies, we're cutting out a lot of the traditional ingredients like flour, eggs, and oil. We're not using any of that for this recipe. Instead, we're going to start with some applesauce. So applesauce is really going to take the place of that oil and the egg because, as you can see, the texture of it, it's a little bit lumpy, but still a little bit fluid. So it's going to really hold the whole brownie together, but also give it the nice gooey texture that we know and love.
It'll be moist.
Exactly, exactly. So I would recommend an unsweetened applesauce because we don't want to have too much sugar in for our nice brownies here. So we're going to do a cup of this applesauce.
Want me to do that?
Absolutely. You want to give it a pour in there. We'll add it to this bowl.
That looks, that's
perfect,
close. Pretty
perfect.
close.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
We'll add it to this bowl here.
Okay.
And we'll set that aside.
I'll put that over here.
Excellent.
Okay,
And
what's
then
next?
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some nut butter. You can use peanut butter like we have here, or a cashew butter. If you use peanut butter, it will have a peanut butter flavor. It'll be like a peanut butter chocolate brownie. But with a cashew butter or an almond butter, you don't get that quite that same taste. This will also really help to hold it together because there's healthy fats in our peanut butter, so that'll give it a nice consistency. So with that, we've got 2/3 of a cup of nut butter. So we have a combination here of cashew butter and peanut butter because I want it to have a little peanut flavor. I think that that's a little nice for a brownie, mixes it up a little bit. The next thing we're going to do to add some protein to these bars is we're going to add some chocolate protein powder. So we only need 3 tablespoons of that powder. So I'm going to add that to a little bowl.
Where do you get chocolate protein powder?
So you can get it, it used to be really hard to come by, but now you can find it just about anywhere. Target is where I got this brand.
Oh, okay.
This is an all-natural protein powder. I think it's by the brand Vega, V-E-G-A, but any protein powder will do. And what this does is a lot of times when we eat these sweet treats, they're delicious, but they don't fill us up. So then we crave more and more. So by adding a little protein, it'll cut that craving in half, which is really nice.
So do you use protein, are there different flavors of protein
Yep,
powders?
there's chocolates, vanillas, there's berry flavors, but we're going to go with chocolate for our brownies today. But you could always change it up too if we wanted to.
Put it in smoothies and other things.
Absolutely.
That's a good additive.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I think they're really great. Next thing we're going to add, and we're going to add it right to our peanut butter here, is we're going to add a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract.
Oh.
So we'll add that. Just a teaspoon, just a little bit. And it smells so nice. It always makes the kitchen smell great.
Yep.
Then the next thing we're going to add is what's going to make it sweet. So our applesauce will give it a little sweetness. So are our protein powder, but we need something else. Traditionally, you would use sugar, but we're going to use some raw agave nectar. It is a nice natural sweetener, and it's more sweet per teaspoon than sugar is. So you can add a little bit less and still get the sweet payoff. We are going to add a 1/4 cup of that, and we're going to add that right to our peanut butter. You want to give it a squeeze?
Yep, I will do that. Oops.
And what's nice about this too is you could do, there we go. You could add more or less if you wanted to, but a 1/4 cup is actually a lot sweeter than even I thought it would be.
That's good.
Perfect. We're going to add that in with our peanut butter. It's starting to smell good. I can smell all the sweet flavors coming together. All right.
What else you got?
And then we need to add some, of course, some cocoa powder. So we are going to add a 1/4 cup of our cocoa powder as well. So we'll pour that into our, it's going to be a little dusty. I'll catch it here. That's perfect.
Okay.
Excellent.
You got a little extra there.
Yep, and that's perfectly fine. This is because there's no eggs in it, there's no baking powder, no baking soda. It's a little bit more flexible than typical cooking recipes, or baking recipes rather.
Okay.
And of course with this too, you could add walnuts, chocolate chips, but we're gonna leave it as is and just see how easy it is to make. We're gonna combine all these ingredients, so if you wanna dump in the applesauce, and I will add in our protein powder. There we go.
You borrow your spoon just
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Scrape it out just a little bit. There.
Perfect. And the last thing we're going to add, of course, because we're still baking, so we need this little reaction to happen, is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to do this over here. We don't want to accidentally add too much salt.
What reaction? What reacts? You mean salt is a reaction when you bake?
Mm-hmm. A little bit. It kind of helps to cut your sugar down a little bit.
Okay.
And they blend together really nicely. So I'll mix this up with our spoon here, and then I'm going to take our rubber scraper, our spatula,
Clean things up.
and really mix it together.
You move this over here and get the pan ready.
Yeah, there we go. Now with this, you could add more cocoa powder if you wanted to as well. But like I said, I wanted this one to have that peanut
It's a
butter
nice
flavor.
light colored brownie.
It is.
Yeah. Boy, it smells good.
Yeah, it does. Now this, because of the applesauce, it won't have that creamy look to it that usually a brownie will. I'll hold it up so that we can all see. It's pretty lumpy, as you can see. It's very lumpy. And even if you used a hand mixer, it would still look like that. but that's okay. It's just because of the applesauce.
Is there a preference between hand mixing and a mixer?
For something like this, not so much, because you don't have all that heavy fats, just that peanut butter and that nut butter. So it's pretty simple. Next thing we're going to do is you must take a pan and make sure you put a wax paper or a parchment paper in it so that it doesn't stick, because these are so gooey.
Would you
pour this in?
Flour and like you would with a cake pan?
You wouldn't necessarily need to, as long as you have this.
Something to keep it from sticking.
Yes, exactly. This will really sit where you leave it as it bakes. It doesn't it doesn't spread out too much once it's in place. So if you hold it steady, we'll move it around.
Yep.
Yep, now you can give it a little shake.
Oh.
If you want. Yep, perfect.
Even it out a little bit?
Yep, even it out a little bit.
Looks good.
And then that bakes at 325.
325.
For 20 minutes if you want a really gooey brownie, 25 minutes if you want a more firm brownie. I did mine about 23 minutes.
Okay.
And then that's all there is to it. I recommend keeping these in the refrigerator. You can keep them for about a week.
Oh, okay, because of all the...
Yep, just because they're so gooey. And they're really good in the freezer, too. Keep in the freezer.
Is there frosting on that?
These do have some frosting. I just whipped up a little frosting because when they finish, as you can see here in the pan, it does have a little bit more of a lumpy appearance. So I like to put a little frosting on top, which I made with just a little bit of coconut milk and a little bit of our protein powder and a little bit of our powdered sugar.
Oh.
It's very simple.
Well, that's right. And how long do you cook them again?
For 20 to 25 minutes.
20 to 25, and these are 23.
Yes, exactly. Do we want to give them a try?
Oh, they look too good to eat.
But I guess we might as well.
Yeah, do you want to, you brought forks, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand you a fork.
All right.
But I'm going to pick this up.
All right. They're very gooey.
They're very rich. Mm-hmm. But it's good. I mean, well, it's not like rich, like eating mousse or something. It's like a nutritious rich. That's not an oxymoron.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, we need a cup of coffee or a glass of milk.
We certainly do.
But that's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
So, the recipe will be on the screen, and you can get it through the website and go home and make these yourself.
Absolutely.
Invite a friend over. I wish we had some friends here to share these with. Well, maybe we'll yeah.
I guess we'll have to eat them ourselves.
We'll have to eat them ourselves. Okay. All right. Thank you, Madison. It's been fun.
Thank you.
See you next month.
Thank you so much.
Yep. We're back at Senior Living in Alexandria, and we're talking today to Mac Slover. He's a Regional Program Director, Department of Recreation, City of Alexandria, and he talked a little bit about his background and experience in a variety of programs that serve seniors. But Mac, I wanted to turn this time to some of the special requirements you might have for seniors and then some of the programs you've got to look forward to. So when you design a program for seniors, what are some of the special things you have to look at? Are there issues of safety, security? Do you have to take a physical exam? Is there a change in cost? You know, what do you do that's special for seniors?
Well, you know, we have to look at, you know, what seniors really want, you know, and hear their voices and try and program to their needs. Cost is definitely a factor. And we do offer senior discounts on programs. You know, we have passes to some of our recreation centers that seniors can sign up for.
Okay.
So, but I think the biggest thing is what do they get out of it? You know, and what benefit is it for them? And that's the biggest part, I think.
When you say you listen to seniors and gather ideas or feedback or suggestions, is there a systematic way of doing that, or is that informal, or how do you learn from seniors?
Well, I think by working with our partners here in the city and getting feedback from programs that we've had or run, that we try and always tweak it and make it a little better.
Do you ever do anything systematically to follow up, like what did you think of that program or whatever other ideas you have? Is that built into it?
Absolutely, because when we run programs, we definitely get the feedback, and if there's questions or concerns or something, then certainly we follow up.
What's the most popular program for seniors that you put together?
Oh boy, pickleball definitely is probably one of the.
I gotta see it.
Is definitely. But you know, when we do our robust walkathon twice a year out at Bremen Park, which is a low impact aerobic program for a day, or if we have our senior health fair, it's very big. I know we partner with Senior Services, and when they have us come in and speak to their groups and stuff. So there's quite a few things that we try and work with the different groups here in the city.
Let me get some detail on the robust walkathon. There's one coming up in April?
Yep, that's April 24th, and that's at Ben Bremen Park, out off of Duke Street.
Okay.
And that's from 10 until 12. We'll have the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department there. But the whole purpose is that our seniors get to go to different stations and do low impact aerobics, and so out in the park and nature and stuff, and you know, it's sometimes we have a few little competitions as far as who raises the most money, and that money is used towards other programs that we run.
Tell me about the fundraising part. So when you say walkathon, they pay a registration fee?
They can pay a one-time
They get a
registration.
T-shirt?
They get information that we hand out.
Information, okay.
Right. And
probably have enough T-shirts.
yeah.
Okay.
But that money is used strictly right back into one of our other programs, senior programs.
And there's some competition in terms of walking and.
Oh yeah, as far as how many in the group comes and how much, how well they do and stuff. So we try and make it fun, and like I said, it's not a real competition, but it's we're getting seniors out there from various ages coming out.
And then you mentioned the health fair. When is that?
The health fair is on Wednesday, May 23rd.
Okay.
And that'll be at the Lee Center at 1108 Jefferson Street.
Okay.
Working with our senior partners, and there'll be various health organizations that will come in and provide all kinds of health care information.
So if I walked in there off the street and I could get, what kinds of things would there be some tests or something that they could tell me if I was physically fit or how long I was going to be around or something?
Well,
how to grow hair?
There you go. That would be really good.
It would be.
But no, we have whether it's massages or whether it's eye checks or various activities like that. But at least we provide a lot of information on senior programs in the city and healthcare.
How do you let people know about the walkathon and the health fair?
Again, we use our network system, getting social media. We get it out to all of our partners. We also have a good email list of people that participate in our programs, and so and then the media itself.
Okay. And then you mentioned another one when we were talking earlier. What's the Dance for All Ages?
The Dance for All Ages is also in April, and that is April 13th. And each year, and that's at T.C. Williams High School, but the National Honor Society for T.C. Williams students work with us on putting that program together, and of course with all of our partners. And we have senior couples or individuals come up and dance. We have a DJ, and they dance the night away, and I'm telling you, some of the seniors can dance better than the youth.
Do people wear tuxedos?
No. Well, I don't know. We've had some that's dressed up.
Would a gentleman
spiffy.
present a lady with a corsage?
They should.
I think so. That's what we used to do. Right. I haven't been to a this when you say a dance for all ages. So there's a DJ, and where do the seniors come from?
The seniors come from around the city,
Just
primarily around the city, yeah,
okay.
and their friends. We also, the therapeutic recreation adults come. That we run a therapeutic adult program out of the Lee Center also, at the Nanny J. Lee Center. Okay. And they come, and then occasionally there'll be kids that will come sometimes. That and so that's why we call it the dance of all ages.
Any kids escort their grandparents?
I've seen that happen, yeah.
Is it like a prom and they go out in a limousine beforehand and have dinner?
Well, I don't know about that.
That would be good.
That would be good.
Okay.
That
sounds like a lot of fun. How long have you been doing that?
Quite a while, and it's one of our most popular ones. Outside of that, and then each December we do a senior holiday program too.
Where do you find somebody old enough to be a chaperone? You don't need chaperones. I'm just kidding. Nah. Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, you've got a lot of programs coming up that I think many seniors would enjoy. I hope they see this program and get excited to do it.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I think our department offers a lot of senior programs, at the recreation centers, and the best thing is that we have so many good partners in the city that we work with, and some of us are on the Successful Aging Committee, and work together to provide these programs that are really important.
Okay, well that's a good overview. Really appreciate that. We're out of time, so do appreciate your coming in today and telling us about these things. I urge every single one of you out there to partake of these. These are really good programs, and you'll enjoy it. You'll meet a lot of nice people, a lot of nice seniors. We're all nice people, and feel good about it.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you're organizing that and helping us out with these programs. So
well, thank you
very, very much.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yep.